So in this video we will solve some problems on set theory. So let us take the first type of problem. Okay, in this problem we will have two sets A and B, and we have to decide what is the inclusion relation between them. That is, whether A is a subset of B or B is a subset of A. Okay, so let us take the sets. The first set is given. It is the collection of all isosceles triangles in a plane. And B is the collection of all equilateral triangles in a plane. So they are triangles in the same plane. So whether A is subset of B or B is subset of A. So see, if you take an isosceles triangle, you can take it like this, and this will belong to A. But clearly this is not an equilateral triangle. We can consider equilateral as isosceles triangle, but we cannot consider isosceles triangle as an equilateral triangle. So we cannot say that this will belong to B. So this X will not belongs to B. So from here we can say that A is not a subset of B. So from here A is not a subset of B. But see, we can consider this triangle, an equilateral triangle, as an isosceles triangle also. So we can say this X, say this is Y, another element. This will belongs to B and it will also belong to A because it is an isosceles triangle also. So here we can say B is subset of A. So from this, since there are elements which are in A but not in B, so we can say that A is the larger one. So we can say that this inclusion is actually proper. So we can say B is a proper subset of A. Okay. So this is the inclusion relation between A and B. Okay. So let us come to the next one. The next one says A is the collection of all squares in a plane. And B is a rectangle in a plane. So in the same plane. So whether A is subset of B or B is subset of A. So clearly see, since we can consider squares as rectangle also, so we can say this will belongs to A and also it will belong to B. But there are rectangles which are not squares. So we can say this will belongs to B but this will not belongs to A. So clearly there are elements in B which are not in A. So we can say that A, from here we can say A is subset of B, and from here we can say that A is a proper subset of B. So this is more accurate statement. So we can say in this case A is a proper subset of B. Okay. So the next one. This is number 2. Okay. The number 3, let us take. Number 3 says that A is the collection of all natural numbers such that it is less than 8, and B is the collection of all natural numbers which divides 32. Okay, this symbol stands for divides. So if we want to say that x divides 32, we can write it like this. Okay. So this is a standard notation for dividing symbol. Okay. So this is the collection, or this is a set. So what should be the inclusion relation here? So for this kind of sets, clearly you can write the roster form here. For the first one, the roster form will be this one, and here see all the divisors of 32, all the natural numbers which are divisor of 32. So here they will be 1, 2, 4, 6, sorry not 6, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16 and 32. So clearly you can see whether which one is a subset of other. See, both the sets have some different numbers which are not in the other. So clearly from here we can say that neither A is subset of B nor B is subset of A. Sorry, so we'll write it like this. Neither A is subset of B nor B is subset of A. Okay, so these are some examples from inclusion relation. Next we come to some true false type statement. Okay, so the first true false type it says that A belongs to ABC. So whether this is true? See, the statement says that the singleton set A is a member of this set. So clearly which is false, because in the set there is no member as this one, because this is a set and here inside the set it is all the elements. So this belongingness relation will not hold here. So it is a false statement. And what should be the true statement? Either you can write this or you can write this. These are the true statements. Number 2, it says that phi is a subset of ABC. So whether this is true? See, here also, if we write phi and if we write this singleton phi, these have two different meanings. The first one is phi, that is the empty set, but the second one is a singleton set, it is not empty. Here the element is itself the empty set. So clearly we can say these two different sets are there, and here this element, the set singleton set phi, is not in is not in this set. So we cannot say that it will be a subset. So this statement is false. Okay, so if we write it like this, phi is subset of ABC, then it will be true, because we know that phi is a subset of every set. So clearly phi will be a subset of this. If you write it like this, then it is a false statement. So this can be true. Sorry, this can be true. Okay, so let us come to the third one. Okay, the third one says this. So whether this one is true? Singleton set A is a subset of this. So see, if this is a subset of this, then we should have an element here in this set like A only. But see, there is no such element, because here the element is itself the singleton set A. So we should say that it will not be a subset, it will be a member. So there should be a belongingness symbol. So again this statement is false, and the correct statement should be either this one or this one is the correct statement. Okay. Let us come to the next one that says, so whether this one is true. See, this one is also false, because whenever we are saying that A belongs to this, there should be an element like this, A. So here A is not a member of this collection. So we cannot say A belongs to this. And even we cannot say that A is a subset of this, because A is an element, it is not a set. So it cannot be a subset of this also. Okay. So here this statement is false, and if we want to say a true statement relating this one, so we can say it like this, just as the previous one. This can be true. Okay. Let us come to the next one. Number 5. It says that if we construct a set like this, and so on, AB, 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 and so on, they are saying that it is a infinite set. It is an infinite set. So that is true. Clearly it is not, because we know that inside a set there should not be any repetition. So see here, A and B are repeated infinite times. So clearly it is not a set. If we want to write it properly, it will be only a two element set, that is A and B. So it is a false statement. Okay. So these are some true false statements. I will give more in the assignment. Next, the problem is related with the power sets. Okay, so what is the power set of A? We know that it is the set of all subsets of A. Whatever A is. It can be a finite set, it can be an infinite set. So, and also another information about power set is that the number of elements in power set should be 2 to the power number of elements in the set A. So if there are, say, there are 3 elements in the power set, it is here, then we can, 3 elements in the set A, then we can write there will be 2 to the power 3 element in the power set of A. That is 8 elements. Okay. So let us do the next problem. Okay. So the first one we have done, that A is 1, 2, 3. So what will be the power set, and you have to verify this this formula. So let us change it a little bit. Say this is the set A, where 1 and the 2 elements set 2, 3 is the set, and we have to find its power set. So first of all, the element should be 5, because 5 is a subset of every set, and then we take the 1 element sets. So here this will be an element, and another element will be 2, 3. Now see properly, if we write only the second bracket, 1 second bracket, then it will be the element of this set. Okay, this set is an element of this set A. So we cannot state it like this. We have to write it like a set. Means it's a subset. So we have to give two brackets. Okay. So all the one element sets are here. Now we have to give the final one, that is the set A. So this will be the collection of all subsets, that is the power set of A. And if we verify this formula now, see how many elements are there in the set A. See, there are only two elements. One is 1 and the other is 2, 3, the two elements. So clearly we can say the number of elements in the power set should be 2 to the power 2, that is 4. See here, 4 elements are here. Okay, so this is the number 1. Number 2, if we take A as phi only, it is the empty set. So how many subsets of A we can find? Okay, so in case of phi, the subset of phi is only phi itself, because otherwise we cannot find any set which is including only 1 or 2 elements. There are no elements in the set. So we can say the power set of A here should be only this one. And you also can clearly verify the number of element formula here, that is n of A, that is n of phi. What should be n of phi? There are no elements, so we can say it is 0. And clearly from here we can say that n of power set of phi should be 2 to the power 0, that is 1, and there is one element, that is singleton phi is a singleton set. So I think the rest of the problems regarding power sets, that is finding power sets of any set, any finite set, you can do it now. Okay, so next type of problem. Okay, next type is regarding to prove the equality of two sets. And in this regard, the first problem is this one. Previously we have seen that A delta B is defined as the union of A minus B union B minus A. And we have given another definition for this. It was A union B difference A intersection B. And using Venn diagram we have seen that these two sets are equal. So now we will prove it using the element idea, that is A is subset of B and B is subset of A, for the equality of A and B. So we will prove that this is a subset of this and this is a subset of this using an arbitrary element from these two collections. So first of all, let us take an element X from this collection. So from here what we can say, either X will be in this set or X will be in this set, B difference A. Okay, if this is a situation, we can write here X belongs to A and X doesn't belong to B, the definition for A difference B. Or what can happen, X belongs to B and X doesn't belongs to A. So from here what we can say, that we can say that X belongs to A. We are taking all the OR statements in one place, that X belongs to A or X belongs to B, and x doesn't belong to B, or x doesn't belongs to A. So from here we can say that this is the condition for A union B. So we can write x belongs to A union B, and here it is AND. Here we can write x belongs to B complement, or x belongs to A complement. So from here we can say that x belongs to A union B and x belongs to B complement union A complement. So we can write A union B and x belongs to, see, applying the De Morgan's law, we can write x belongs to A intersection B whole complement. If you take the complement outside, union becomes intersection. So if it is belonging to the complement, it will not belong to the original set. So we can write here that x belongs to A union B and x doesn't belong to A intersection B. So from here we can say that x belong to A union B difference A intersection B. Okay, so we can say, since x was taken from this set, and finally we can show that x is belonging to this set, so we can say the set A difference B union B difference A is a subset of A union B difference A intersection B. If you follow the reverse order, that you will take an element from here and go in this direction, you can prove that all the elements in this set will belong to this set. So you can do it, it is your homework. So from that we can say that A union B difference A intersection B is a subset of A difference B union B difference A. So in that case we can say, from combining these two statements, that the sets are equal. That means A difference B union B difference A is equal to A union B difference A intersection B. So this is how the equality holds. Okay, so this is our first problem in proving the equality of two sets. Let us come to the next one. This one says that A difference B union C is the same as A difference B intersection A difference C. Okay, one of your homeworks will be, whatever we are proving using the subset condition for equality, we will prove it also using the Venn diagram. And what we have proved for using Venn diagram, we will do it using the subset idea. Okay, so for here, so let us take an element from the left hand side. So if we take it from this, we can say x belongs to A and x doesn't belongs to B union C. So if x belongs to A and x doesn't belong to B union C, that means x doesn't belongs to B and x doesn't belongs to C, because it is not belonging to B union C. This is the Venn diagram for B union C. The element x is not belonging to any one of these sets. It is not in this region. This shaded region means it won't be either in B or in C. So we can write an AND symbol here. Okay, so we can write it like this, say, see, x belongs to A and x doesn't belongs to B, and we can take x belongs to A twice because it will give back only x belongs to A. So we can write here and x belongs to A, this and is coming here, or you can say this and is coming here. So we are considering these two statements one time and again A and C one time. So and x doesn't belongs to C. So the first one is the condition for A difference B. So we can write x belongs to A difference B. And the second one is giving the condition for A difference C. So combining these two with an AND, we can write x belongs to A difference B intersection A difference C. So again in the reversed order, we can prove another condition, that is, okay, so what we have got from here, A difference B union C is a subset of A difference B intersection A difference C. A difference C. And in the reverse order, we can prove the inclusion for the other inclusion, that is, this set is a subset of this set. Okay. So let us do that. I think you can do it, as your homework. So I will do it, and you can also send me the solutions. You know my number, so you can send. Okay, so another inclusion will come like this: A difference B intersection A difference C will be a subset of A difference B union A difference C. So from these two, we can combine and write like this: A difference B union C is equals to A difference B intersection A difference C. Okay. Let us come to the next one. Okay. There is another case, just the similar one, only the union is changed here to intersection. So what will be the statement here? See, there is a difference here. It means if we can write also this difference as the intersection together with a complement in the power of this. So in that case, since there should be a complement, this intersection will become union, and after the distributive formula, if we see the distribution of difference over intersection, it will become union here. So we can write it like this: A difference B union A difference C. See, the previous one was this: A difference B union C. So in case of distribution, this becomes A difference B, and for the complement sign, the union is becoming intersection, and this. So basically the distribution of difference over union gives an intersection in the middle, and distribution of difference over intersection gives an union in the middle. So that's how the distribution works for difference operation. Okay, so this will be almost similar. So you will try to do it. It will be one of your homework. I will give you a separate assignment page in the description of this video. So for now, let us keep it. Next we take this one: A intersection B difference C is equal to A difference C intersection B difference C. So see, in this case, intersection is being distributive over difference. So let us see how it is coming. So we are taking again an element x from this part, and if you take, it will give you something like this: A intersection B, and x doesn't belong to C. So if this is the case, then you can write x belongs to A and x belongs to B is in bracket and x doesn't belongs to C. So for this we can write x belongs to A and this and is coming here, x doesn't belong to C, and also we can write it like x belongs to B and x doesn't belongs to C. See, this statement is coming somehow applying the distribution property, because we will take x A and C one time and B and C one time. That's why it is coming. So here this is the definition for A difference C. So we can write x belongs to A difference C and x belongs to B difference C. So then from this statement we can see it is the condition for AND, that is the intersection. So we can write here x belongs to A difference C intersection B difference C. So similarly we can also prove, okay, this one gives us A intersection B difference C is a subset of A difference C intersection B difference C. Okay, so similarly you can prove that the reverse inclusion, that is A difference C intersection B difference C is a subset of A intersection B difference C. So these two will combine and give us the equality for this. Okay. So there is another case for union, and that will be your homework. You will try to prove it. A union B difference C will be A difference C union B difference C. Okay, so this will prove, and it has come to the next one. It says for any two sets A, A and B, if A union X is equals to B union X, where X is another set, and also A intersection X is equals to B intersection X for any set X, then we can prove that A will be equals to B. So in this kind of problems we will apply the absorption law. How? Let us see. We will start from A, and all over the problem we will only apply the algebraic properties of sets, set operations. So here first we are applying the absorption law, and we can write it like this. See, we have to associate X, so we can write it like A union A intersection X by absorption law. Okay, so now we will distribute it. So applying the distribution law, okay, first of all we will apply the given condition. So we can apply here A, it will be B intersection X. So see, from here we can write A union B intersection A union X, and our target is to finally apply the absorption law and make it B. So somehow we have to remove A from here. So see, this is the distribution law. We have to write it here. Whatever algebra you are applying, whatever algebraic rule you are applying, you should write it in the bracket here. Okay, so what is the value for A union X? It is the value B union X. So here we can write this one from the given condition. So see, if we apply commutativity, we can write this one as B union A intersection B union X, applying commutative law. Now see, again if we apply the distributive law in the reverse order, that is it is the right hand side for the distribution law, then we can do this thing. See, B union A intersection X. See, from the distribution law we know whatever is inside it will come outside, and whatever is outside it will come inside. So here union is inside, so it will come outside, and intersection is outside, it will come inside. So we can write this thing using distributive law or distribution law. Okay, so if this is the case, again we can apply the given condition, that is B union B intersection X, and see, it is again in the form of absorption law, and by absorption law we can write it as B. So finally we got our required result, that is A equal to B. So this is how we apply absorption law in or algebraic properties of set operations in problems and solve some problems. Okay. Next we come to some problems that are related with the power sets. The problem says that for any two sets A and B, we can prove that power set of A intersection B is the same as the power set of A intersection power set of B. Okay. So this is a problem and we have to prove it. So again we will prove it in the same way, that is applying the element idea, that is the subset idea. So we will prove that power set of A intersection B is a subset of power set of A intersection power set of B, and the reverse one. Okay. So what are the elements of power sets? They are the subsets of the given set. So here we will consider some subset of A intersection B, and we will show that that is again a subset of this set. Okay. So that will belong to this power set. Okay, so let us consider an element. So since it is a set, subset, we will write it as in capital letters. So they are not usual elements. So suppose we are writing it like capital X. It belongs to power set of A intersection B. So since it is a member of the power set, we can write that X is a subset of A and X is also a sub. Okay, so let us write it like this. X is a subset of A intersection B. Now you see in the Venn diagram, if this is the Venn diagram, then X is a subset of A intersection B. That means X will be here. And it is here means it is a subset of A and also a subset of B. So here we can write X is subset of A and X is subset of B. So if X is subset of A, we can say that X will be a member of the power set of A and X will also a member of the power set of B. So since both are the X is a member of both the sets PA and PB, we can write this will be in the intersection. And similarly, if we consider the reverse one, that is we are considering an element, say Y, from this set, then what we will have? We will have something like this: Y belongs to P of A and Y belongs to P of B. Now Y belongs to P of A means Y is a subset of A, and Y belongs to P of B means Y is a subset of B. So if Y is subset of A and subset of B, see again, if this is a subset of both the sets, this should lie in here in the intersection. So from here we can say Y is a subset of A intersection B, and that gives Y is a member of the power set of A intersection B. See again, we are getting the same result. That is, from here we can say power set of A intersection power set of B is a subset of power set of A intersection B. We haven't written it here. We can say from here that power set of A intersection B is a subset of power set of A intersection power set of B. Okay. So combining these two results, we can get our required equality. That is, power set of A intersection B is the same as power set of A intersection power set of B. Okay, so this is the proof. Our next problem says, what should be the case for union? So let us do that one. Okay. So the next one says that power set of A union power set of B will be a subset of power set of A union B. That means the power set of A union B is much more larger than power set of A union power set of B. So how it is? So let us first prove the inclusion relation, and then we will give an example that will show that the reverse inclusion will not hold. So first of all, we are taking an element from the left hand side, that is power set of A union power set of B. So again, from here we can say that X is either in power set of A or X is in the power set of B. So from here we can write that X is a subset of A or X will be a subset of B. Now what is the case here? This is A, this is B. They are saying that X is a subset of A or X is a subset of B. So either X can be here or X can be here, or these three conditions combinedly says that X is a subset of A union B. See, whatever the position of X is, it is inside the union. So we can say this is the situation. X is a subset of A union B, and from here we can say that X is a member of the power set of A union B. So from here we can say that power set of A union power set of B will be a subset of the power set of A union B. So now for the reverse inclusion, that is, we have to prove that PA union B is not a subset of PA intersection PB. So for that if you take A as suppose say only 1 and B as only 2, so then see A union B becomes 1 2. Now realize this, since it is a one element set, in the power set of A there will be only two elements because 2 to the power 1. Then also here, since there is only one element in B, so in the power set of B there will be again 2 elements. So, and see, in these 2 elements phi is a common element. So if you take the union, that will give only 3 elements in the power set of A union power set of B. But A has 2 elements here. So in the power set there will be 4 elements for A union B, sorry. It will be A union B. So in the power set of A union B, we will have 4 elements. So usually it becomes that power set of A union B contains more elements than the combined number of subsets of power set of A and power set of B. So see the scenario. P of A becomes phi and 1, 2 elements. P of B becomes phi and 2, again 2 elements. P of A union P of B, here phi is common, so we can write phi 1 and 2, so there are 3 elements. But if you take P A union B, then there are in A union B there are 2 elements, so the subsets will be phi 1 2 and 1 2. So this is the power set for A union B. There are 4 elements, so clearly this one is larger one, and it contains all the elements of phi of PA union PB. So that means PA union PB will always be a subset of this, but PA union B can be larger than PA union PB. So in this case we can say only this direction is true, not the reverse direction. Okay, so this is all about power sets. Okay, so this is the first problem session on sets. We have covered a few types of problems in this. In the next session we will do another type of problem, and that will be the final one for problem session on sets. And so this is the end for this video. We will see you in the next one.